Hey y'all, it's Megan. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. Come spend some time with us today. I don't exactly know what all we're getting into. Andy is gone to help his daddy grind some pig feed. The kids have decided they want some pancakes for breakfast. So this video is gonna be a little reversed from normal. So I'm gonna show y'all how I throw together some quick chocolate chip pancakes. Jacob likes them plain. Maggie likes chocolate chips. First thing I gotta do is turn my little pumpkin man around to make him a pumpkin now. Halloween is over. I'm gonna do about 2 cups of self-rising flour. A good heaping tablespoon of sugar. I'm gonna say about, let's see what a half a teaspoon looks like. I'm terrible at measuring stuff like this. I'm gonna say, yeah, about a half a teaspoon of baking soda. Put that in there. You'll need about 3/4 of a cup of cultured buttermilk. I don't have any right now, so I will take plain milk and put a little vinegar in it. We're going to mix together our dry ingredients. Pour in my milk. I'll melt me a tablespoon of lard here. Maybe a little more. Crack an egg. Scramble that egg a little bit here. Then we'll get it all mixed together. Wait on my lard to melt. Sip my coffee and look out at the sunshine. I love this time of year. I think it puts people in the mood for homemade food and puts me in the mood to make it because, you know, sometimes in the summertime, not only is it super busy with the garden and everything, it's also, you know, you go outside and you get plumb hot and then you come in, you really don't want to stand over a hot stove. And I don't know about y'all, and maybe it's the shape of my house, but my stove, it heats up my house pretty good, especially if it runs for a while. So, you know, you're just in here and the kitchen's hot, and I don't know, I just ain't into cooking in the dead heat of the summer. I mean, of course I still cook supper, but on cool, chilly days, man, there's some days I'll just spend all day in here, but that's where I want to be. That's where I want to be. There we go. Pour that melted lard in there. So my batter is actually a little thicker than I want it. I'm just going to add a little bit more milk. Ain't no problem. See how thick that got? Oops. Probably put a little too much flour in it, but it's fine. They'll still turn out fabulous. Now, that thinned out right nice. So I like to use an ice cream scoop to scoop out my pancakes. Scoop them right out there. So usually what I do is I'll fix Jacob too with no chocolate chips, and then the rest I'll put chocolate chips in because Andy likes them with chocolate chips too. Homemade pancakes are literally just that easy to make though. No reason to buy these pre-made mixes that have untelling what in them. And usually with the pancakes, I like to fix them a little bacon, maybe a little fruit. It's got to be better than these breakfast cereals. See the rise on that pancake right there? Our baking soda really helps with that. Alright, there's Jacob's. Now I'm just going to dump in some chocolate chips. That was probably way too many. Just dump in as many as your heart desires. There's no wrong answer. So I want to show you the inside of this pancake, so I can make believers out of you that it really is just that simple. See how nice and beautiful and fluffy that is? They're great. The kids love them. Easy. Why? I mean, who in life decided to make us think that it was so hard that we have to buy a pre-made mix? You know? Because I was one of those people that thought it was super hard to make pancakes, apparently, because there's a pre-made mix to make it. Now, I'm not saying anything if you do buy it, whatever. To each their own, but it's really easy and you control the ingredients. Another tip to excellent pancakes is the syrup that you use. Makes a big difference. Don't use this corn syrup. It's so funny, I think about it now. My granny, y'all, she loved pancakes, but she would buy Cairo syrup. Did any of y'all do that? She's the only person I've ever seen do that. She would buy the Cairo syrup. That's what she would eat on her pancakes. And the woman was this big around. I have no idea, and healthy as a ox. But Cairo syrup always on her pancakes. But if you're anywhere near Damascus, Virginia, this is some really great local maple syrup that we love. And anytime we go up that way, because if you don't know, we're in North Carolina, but we are very, very close to Virginia. We're up in the northern part of North Carolina. So Virginia is kind of our go-to place. But if you're anywhere near Damascus or White Top, Virginia, or anything like that, stop and get you some really good syrup. Well, and there you have it. It is just that simple to make your own pancakes at home. If you don't know, I mean, most of y'all are probably like, we know, Megan, we do that. But, you know, there may be one person out there that this might have helped this morning. I hope it did. But anyways, I think I'm going to wander outside. It's a beautiful, chilly morning. My cabbage heads, I went out there yesterday and they were busted. So I think I'm going to make some kraut today. Because I'm scared they're going to go to rotten. Here's what I'm running into. We got like 2 inches of rain after it had been really dry, and after the fact, I guess they growed so fast they decided they's gonna bust, and I'm scared they're gonna rot. So I'm gonna cut the ones that are busted. And if you remember, back in the late spring, early summer, I guess it was, I tried Tipper's recipe for kraut from Celebrating Appalachian. And I'm gonna tell y'all what, can y'all believe I done about eat all that? It is the best kraut I have ever eaten. And it was so easy, so easy. So I'm gonna make some more. That's what I'm gonna do with these busted cabbage heads. I am going to make me some more kraut to enjoy through the winter. It was one of those kind of things. It was so easy. You're like, ain't no way it's gonna work good. But I only had a jar or two that didn't keep, and the rest of it kept real good. Let's look at the rest of these. That one's all right. What about you? That one's busted a little bit. Maybe not enough to worry about. I don't know. I got one busted one yesterday, maybe some slaw. Oh, that one's pretty bad. Look up in there. You gonna eat some cabbage? That one is busted off. What are you meowing for? What do you want? What do you want? Now you want to come see me? You like cabbage? Yeah. Y'all want a treat? Come here. Here, chickens.
Black kitty, you in my way.
Move the food.
She's fine. I'm alright.
You got to hear Joe about the girl.
I know it. I don't know if that's the fit or not. But I'm gonna get in there.
Say, you don't want nobody to get her hog food?
Huh?
Say, you don't want nobody to get her hog food?
That's right. This that sits out here on the ground where the cats run around out here all the time and won't nothing bother it. But a mouse are getting that barrel right there.
The cats can't get to them.
The cats can't get to them.
Can't get to them in there.
Hey, Piggy. Black Kitty's like, oh, this food's good.
For the past, week now?
Yeah.
We kind of had some wet, nasty, rainy weather. And I don't know about y'all, but wet, nasty, rainy weather gives me a little bit too much free time to be going out and looking around and stuff. Well, long story short, the first day it rained, I got caught up on some mechanicing work I was doing. I told Jacob, so let's ride down to the local, I guess you would say, tractor junkyard. It's a farm equipment place, but they sell all kinds of stuff down there, and they've got a pile of old wore out equipment that you can just go get parts and stuff off of. But anyways, I was like, let's go down there and see what all they got sitting around. So we get there and we find a set of plows. Well, these are just your typical standard everyday Ford 2-bottom turning plows. These are a model number 101. Very, very, very common plow around here. I mean, everybody and their brother had one of these plows. And I've got a set out here that's a 3-bottom plow. They're 14-inch plows. These are 12-inch plows. But anyways, we seen them sitting there, and they were in pretty good shape for the most part. Now, all the wear items down here on the feet were wore, but the plow themselves was in really good shape, straight, no breaks, nothing been tore up on them. But they were 12-inch plows. And I kind of wanted a 14-inch plow. Well, backstory here real quick. These are for Jacob and his tractor. And we were...
And they're also supposed to be red, so that's why we got them.
Right. So that was the other thing that drew us to them, is these are an older 101, and they came out factory red. The later model 101s came out blue.
Like that one.
Like that one, which that one's been painted, but
Yeah.
that one was originally blue. But that means that these plows right here are from the same era as his 601, which technically doesn't make a lot of difference, but at the same time, it just made it fit the tractor better. So, all right, fast forward. Here we are today. I never realized that 12-inch plow parts could no longer be bought. If I had 14-inch plow parts, 14-inch plows, they could still be bought. 16-inch plows could still be bought. But 12-inch plows the wear items cannot be bought new anymore. And I had no idea of that when we bought these plows. Had I known that, I probably wouldn't have bought the plows. But we were here already. We had done bought the plows. So that kind of set a spark. I was like, let's see if we can find them somewhere. Well, I'm going to try not to get too long-winded here because there is a lot to tell. I'm going to try to condense it down as much as I possibly can. I have become very educated on Ford plows in the past 4 or 5 days here. And I have learned a lot. So this particular plow has the same foot. This is what you call the foot. This is where your moldboard, this is where all this stuff bolts to right here. You have your moldboard, you have what we call the point, you have your cutter, and then the landslide on the other side over there. Now currently me and Jacob have already taken all this off, and our plan is, this is Jacob's little restoration project.
I've done sanded it, as you can see here, and then hopefully today we'll get some paint on it.
Well, we're going to try to get it at least cleaned up
Yeah.
today.
And I wanted them, so like when we go to shows and stuff, they'll match perfect with my tractor and they'll be shiny and painted up.
But we still plan on using them too.
Yeah, we're gonna use them too.
So, with all that being said, I wanted new parts on these plow feet down here. Alright, so back up to what I was telling earlier. What I've learned is these older style 101s have the same foot as the Dearborn plows. That foot has a different bolt hole pattern for your point than the newer style 101s do. The newer styles have a 4-bolt, on a 12-inch had a 3-bolt pattern, and on a 14-inch had a 4-bolt pattern. On these older styles, you have a 2-bolt pattern for a 12-inch and a 3-bolt pattern for the 14-inch. I hope I'm not going to lose all y'all here because it's a lot to take in. But the points and the landslides for these old plows like this one right here are obsolete. They are not made brand new by any manufacturer anymore, at least that I can find. You can still, so this is a newer style here. You can still buy the newer style 12-inch parts. You just can't buy these old style 12-inch parts. So, all that being said, mold boards and stuff like that off of the newer style fit these older styles. It's just the points down here. So we bought this plow at the same place that we're going to use it for parts. It's been broke up before. It's a lot more wore in this area right here, so I don't really mind tearing it apart. This one is actually still fairly tight in all those areas, which is why we've decided to restore this one. This one had a good tail wheel on it, just like that. We've already took all that off. But I bought this plow right here just for these mold boards, because the mold boards that was on that plow will wore slap out. And the mold boards off of this plow will fit, and some other parts off of this plow will fit my set of 3 bottom plows. So once we're done, this plow right here will be kind of like scrapped, and it'll probably just sit over in the edge of the woods in case we ever need any other parts off of it. All right. I started on the hunt trying to find plow points for these plows, and I found 14-inch plow points, which will fit a 12-inch plow. They just weren't the right ones, but they will fit. I bought those. I bought this plow for the mold board. I bought some landslides that will fit, however they're not the correct ones. And so at the moment I thought I had everything I needed for this plow. Well, I just happened to think the other day, I was like, and I've searched everywhere. I've been to different farm parts places. I've been to anywhere you can think of and could not find exactly what I needed for that plow. Long story short, we have an old-timey country store just right down the road from us. And I happen to remember when I was a kid going over there and buying plow points with Grandpa. I go over there yesterday and just happened to ask her, I'm like, have you still got any of them plow points and stuff back there? And she said, oh yeah, they're all still back there. I said, do you care if I go dig through them? And she said, have at it. I went over there and dug through them and found a whole stockpile of plow points, landslides, and cutters that will fit this particular plow. And I thought I had hit a gold mine. I was tickled to death. Could not believe it. All of it was brand spanking new, probably been on the shelf since the 70s. Who knows how long it'd been on the shelf, but it was like walking into a time capsule in there. So, with all that being said, if any of y'all have an older set of 101 plows that have the old style Dearborn foot on them, you might ought to be trying to find you some plow points if you don't have some extra ones laying around, because you know that is a wear item. And it eventually wears out. And if you wear it down too deep or too little, you'll wear this foot out right here, and you don't want to do that, because you definitely can't buy those right there new anymore. Now this is going to be Jacob's restoration project. For the most part, he's in control of it. I'm just kind of helping him out along the way. One other cool thing is you can still see the Ford emblem on these plows, and which most of them still have this, but it's still got the ID tag where it has the serial number and all that on them too.
Oh, and also if you look, you can see where it's the sticker. You can still see like the...
You can still see the outline of the sticker right there. So we're going to try to find a sticker that's at least close to that to put on these once we're done.
Do you remember the measurements?
I got it saved in my phone.
Oh. How do you put one of those things on? I mean off. And on.
You really need gloves on one of these wire brushes, but you just unscrew it.
Oh.
You have to lock the grinder so it don't turn. Them little brushes are like bee sting.
They're pointy.
Yeah, they're sharp, ain't they?
Yeah. Maybe it's
This one ain't like that.
maybe it's because this one's been used and it's been going. Yeah.
Let me see. I'll try to get up in these corners here because that might try to get away from you. It don't go deep enough.
It don't.
No. It ain't gonna work.
What do you mean it don't go deep enough?
There we go.
I didn't know that thing could move.
Yep.
It could have really come in handy if I knew it could move.
Why is it be in your way?
Sometimes.
I've rinsed off my cabbages good. I've ended up with 3 heads here that need something done with. Maybe you can see now that we're inside just how bad. This one was the worst one. How bad that busted open like it did. Like I said, the only thing I can figure is we went from really dry to getting a whole bunch of rain. So I'm going to just get this cut up. It is so crunchy, y'all. I made some slaw. And it is so delicious. Usually, you know, fall cabbage here is hit or miss depending on the weather. This year, we got a pretty fast growing variety that I can't even remember the name of it now. But we looked at the days to harvest and got the quickest one from the local greenhouse that we go to. So, that's what we're doing right now. We are going to work on chopping for our kraut here. And I would go outside and do this so the mess wouldn't be in here. But the wind is terrible. And I'm scared. It'll go to blowing my cabbage away. That'd be something, wouldn't it? Now, like I said earlier, this is Tipper's method from Celebrating Appalachian. Love her channel. I've watched her for many, many years. I'm sure most of you know Tipper, but if you don't, be sure to check out her channel. A lot of good content over there. And like I said, this is the best and easiest kraut I have ever made, and I think I've got like just maybe 2 jars left that I made back in late spring, early summer. And I mean, honestly, I've been being like stingy with it too because it was so good. I didn't want to run out. But I try to make the mundane tasks like housework and stuff. That's just not my forte. But I try to make it enjoyable for myself, and I try to count my blessings when I'm doing it. Just like the 5 million dishes that I have every day. I feel like I am thankful that I have a house full of healthy children and a wonderful husband to enjoy food off of those dishes, and that I am here able to fix them to food that were on those plates. Think about stuff like that. It gets a little deep sometimes in my mind. So I've cut me up some cabbage here. So we're going to get started on this recipe. So you can use plain salt, cannon salt, pickling salt, as long as it's plain non-iodized salt. That's what you need for this recipe here. So we've got our 2 teaspoons in the bottom of our jar. I'm gonna take and I'm gonna go ahead and start putting my cabbage in there. One thing when you're making kraut is you want it packed in there tight. And that's pretty much any kind of way you're making it. Any recipe I've ever tried anyway. You always pack your cabbage in there. Now I did chop this a little bit different than what I did when I made it before. I'm just trying a few jars, chopped a little differently to see how I like it. And then on top of that, we're gonna add a teaspoon of sugar. We're going to top it off with some water. Just regular old water. Pour it in slow to give that water kind of time to bubble around the cabbage. My 2 jars that didn't keep, it's like the water settled more or something, and it didn't. It was no longer covered in water, is what I'm trying to say. After that, lid and ring goes on. We're going to put that pretty snug on there. So we're going to go through and do that with all this cabbage, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do next.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you don't want to worry about this area and let me get that with the grinder, because this is an area where if it grabs, it's going to kick it out of your hand. Yeah. I can get this. You can clean these feet up. They got to be cleaned up.
Yeah.
And all this right in here, if you can get there, right down the edges, that needs to be cleaned up. And you can do it with it sitting like this.
Okay. These are going to be hard. Oh, look at all that rust on there.
That's fine. It don't matter if you leave any pits. We just want to get the rust off because we can put a coat of paint on it before we put all the new parts back on.
Yeah. And then, before we put all the new parts back on them, we got to paint all the new parts. And we got to paint like the back wheel back there.
So I'm taking these clamps off that hold the coulter. I don't have the coulters for this plow, and I know a lot of people when they're plowing run the coulter, which is a disc that would mount right here, and it chops up the sod or something. But we're never really plowing sod, and if you're plowing corn stalks under or you have trash on the field, in my opinion, those things cause you to clog up more than they help you. So I've never had a set of plows that had them on there. Most of the time they get taken off and lost over the years. But anyways, we've got those brackets off of there, so that'll help us to where we can clean the rest of these beams up. And we need to make sure this right here is free, because this is the part you have to adjust so the plow sits right behind your tractor.
Okay.
You know, once it's adjusted for your tractor, you'll probably never have to change it. But we just need to make sure it works, because we may have to adjust on it.
Some of them plows over there, they were broke right here. I guess you couldn't adjust those, could you? Because they put like another piece right there because they were broke.
Yeah, if it's broke, I wouldn't want a plow that adjustment didn't work on, because if you ain't got a plow set right, it's going to make your tractor do all kinds of funny things. It won't pull good. Let's see. I got a hard to get to spot right here. Let me...
First I'm gonna grind these off.
Okay. Oh, up there.
Yeah. Last night on my book, and it said a 601 Workmaster was rated for a 3 plow, but I guess that's for the flatland, not.
Did it
for
say
up here.
what size 3-bottom plow? 12-inch, 14-inch, or?
No, it just said it was rated for a 3-bottom, but it wasn't like my actual Ford book that said that. It was another book that I had that shows everything about the tractor, like it shows different companies and the tractors. Shows different stuff about the tractors, and it said a 601 Workmaster had a 3 plow rating.
Well, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if that tractor wouldn't pull a 3-bottom plow. Just sometimes when you're in this red clay up here, it's hard.
Yeah.
So it probably have enough power to pull it, but it might not have enough weight to put the traction to the ground.
And that's why a whole lot of times when I see pictures of people plowing with 601s on my book, and they always, and 801s, they always have wheel weights.
Wheel weights?
Yeah.
Yeah, your tractor needs a set of wheel weights.
And they also have front wheel weights, which I had never seen before until I saw that.
I always felt like that tractor was a little light when I've run it.
And also where it's dry brakes, you can just like you're just rolling a little. You just like tap the brakes and the tire would lock up.
Yeah. You want to do this part now? I've got it flipped over where it's easy. You can get that part, all of this. That up in there needs to be done.
This.
Right there needs to be. Oh, well, it went on over. All that right there needs to be done.
Okay.
We'll have to, if it got any dirt on the bottom side, we'll have to get that off before we paint it.
Don't want to be painting over dirt. I've had that happen before on my toys.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I about guarantee, no matter how good we clean on this thing, when we go to paint it, we're going to find other places
that we didn't get. Yeah.
All right, I'll go find them brushes.
Okay.
So I had to take a quick little break from the Kraut. It's such a beautiful fall day. Me and Maggie took a quick little round on the horses. Always make time for what you love, even if that time ain't but 10 minutes once a month. It's amazing how much better it make you feel. We ain't got no saddles or nothing, do we, Maggie? Come on, buddy. Yep. Yeah, my old man decided he's feeling a little perky.
I believe he's about got it to the point where he ain't gonna get it much better unless we start getting super detailed. I'm considering taking that bolt out and taking those two set screws or set bolts, whatever you want to call them, so I can slide this out and get him back there. I think at this point though, we just have to decide just how carried away we want to get with cleaning it up. That looks like a toothbrush, don't it?
I know.
How do you like to brush your teeth with that?
It's a little stiff.
Get in there, in that area right there, and I'll get back here. Actually, maybe we should trade. I need a little one. That feels a whole lot better there.
This still does it. Imagine before they had power tools. Imagine restoring a tractor back then before they had power tools. Do this to the entire tractor.
I don't even know if people restored tractor before they had power tools, because back then tractors were just getting a start.
Well, I mean, power tools started coming around 70s, maybe. Don't you think?
I don't even know, 60s probably.
Well, Milwaukee's been doing it a while from that video that I watched. Like, Milwaukee's been doing it since the 20s.
Power tools?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're called something with a hole. Hole punchers, maybe. Because they were way faster than like a regular, one of them drills, one of these kind of drills.
All right. Well, Jacob, could be wrong, but I think the only thing left that we really need to do is run these bolts up and down this, or at least take it off and clean them threads. I want to get them threads clean so that adjustment works pretty good.
And also, if you wanted a restored plow, it got to be good. If this is all like crusty and stuff how it is now, it won't look brand new.
There you go. I think it is ready for paint, but I just told Jacob, I said, I think since we are trying to get it to look really good, instead of doing just a halfway job on it.
Like this.
What I think we should do is walk away from it right now and come back probably tomorrow or late this evening and then look at it again with fresh eyes and go over this thing again, because right now we've been working on it, even though y'all probably can't tell. We've been working on this thing for over an hour, maybe 2 hours.
Yeah, ever since I got done eating.
So, with that being said, at the moment, we're kind of tired of looking at it.
So I finished up the kraut, brought it out on the porch. I'm going to let that work out here for about 2 weeks. Now, this time of year, I am going to keep an eye on the weather. If they're calling for it to be below freezing, I'll probably bring it inside in hopes that it does not freeze and bust. But I'm going to let it work off out here. I will come and crack the lid. What I did last time, I cracked the lid like every 3 days, 3 or 4 days, just to let any of those gases off, keep my jars from busting. But in 2 weeks, around about at 2-3 weeks, it should be ready to store down in my basement. Now, if you feel comfortable with it, you can store it just as is, lid on tight, in a cool, dark location. But if not, you can also process it. There are plenty of approved canning recipes. If you look up USDA, check those out, and you can, by all means, can it if you want to. But, yeah, that's sauerkraut. I was so tickled with it in the spring, I had to make me some more.
Don't look so concerned, honey. So after working with Jacob on that plow, I decided to slip down here and finally take care of this brush pile. Guys, this brush pile, for the most part, has been here for at least 15 years, ever since we cleared this land.
What it come from was you clearing this pasture.
Yeah, well, when I cleared this pasture, it all looked like that. This used to be tobacco field. Then it grew up in pines, just like that was field, but we don't own that up there. But it grew up in pines, and then I cleared it back out, and it's been piled up there ever since. And I've been adding to it over the years, so a lot of what was around the outside edge was still fresh, but what's in the very center was probably already rotten. But golly, I have been wanting to do this for so long, but
it's burnt quick.
It has. It's burnt pretty quick. It really has. It's really starting to take off up there now.
Yeah.
This is going to be so much better when this is gone and we can get this whole big old spot covered in grass, because I'm telling you, this is a huge spot of land that it takes up.
Yeah. The cows might be mad that all their scratching stuff is gone.
Yeah, the cows like to fool with that stuff.
Yeah.
And yes, I did do it legally. I have a burn permit here in North Carolina. That's what you have to do. You have to get a burn permit to burn brush from cleared land and all that. I got all that taken care of. I'm just sitting down here babysitting it.
Good burning conditions.
Hey, that's what I'd been
Rain,
waiting on
yeah.
lately was the rain. We finally got rain. It had sun had shined enough to dry the pile back out, but everything around me is still damp. It took a little bit to get it going. I won't lie. For a minute I had hesitations that it was going to burn, but when it took, it took.
I'm happy about it.
I know you are.
Get some grass.
Well, we're still going to have a lot of work to do even when it's gone because there's a lot of stumps in there, and I doubt those stumps burn up. There's going to be a lot of stuff that has to be picked up because there's a lot of rotten wood in there too, and rotten wood won't burn.
Yeah.
But
well, it's already way smaller than it was. So.
Absolutely. Looks so much better already. It's been a while since you could see plumb from one side to the other of it.
But anyways, guys, I guess that's going to about wrap up today's video. Hope y'all have enjoyed the video, and I hope you might have learned a little something. And anyways, till we see y'all on the next one.
Y'all have a good one.
Have a good one.